Hello model railroaders, welcome to Pak Rat Route and Scale Model Railroad. I'm Gary Corbin. Today is the 12th of February 2020. Today's video I'd like to talk about my Mainline and some of the advantages that I built into it. Basically there's an upper loop that goes around and then a lower loop that comes back around here. The exchange for both loops is right up here in Telly Beer, where they kind of come together. Or alternatively, this lower loop can bypass around, and then the upper loop can also come back around. But the sidings that I built into it, like this one here is 9 feet long on the lower loop. The upper loop has a 7 foot long siding. When I designed this, I designed it so that DCC, so that multiple trains could run in opposite directions. Basically, I kind of have a vision of 2 trains running mainline a lot of the times, or whatever, kind of getting that a route down. It's more advanced operations, but I just want to talk about some of the advantages that I built into my layout here. Also, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the geographical location of my layout here. It's by no means prototypical of the area that I'm from, but I'm going to go ahead and name it Galesburg, this lower yard Galesburg. That way I've got some geographical locations that I can use, like Chicago, Rock Island, Quincy, St. Louis, Peoria over here. And that way also too, it's I'm going to run BNSF, and possibly a UP train, and then also a Toledo Peoria Western TP&W locomotive. I got my eye on an RS, I believe it's an 11. It's kind of olive drab color. It's kind of a neat looking locomotive. So that's kind of, and then I want to kind of run a directional route also. So like the UP train will enter the cement plant from this direction with a 2-bay covered hoppers, and then it'll leave with the empty coal loads and come out this direction. Now, up in the upper plant, when I empty the coal loads, I'm going to make a little shelf over here to put the coal loads on, so that way, what I'm thinking is the main line for the UP that we run in the coal train, when it leaves, it comes over here. I'll put the coal loads back on this siding area. I'll do a runaround of the engines, because that's going to be a consist also, so that it enters back in to the cement plant from this direction. Then it leaves with a full cement plant, 2-bay hoppers, and goes out that direction. Again, use this upper area for a runaround so that it's directional back in. And then also for the Galesburg yard delivering to the cement plant, I'll do a runaround up in the yard so that it comes back into this lower yard in the same direction that it left from. I don't know if that really matters too awful much. It's more operations, I guess, and how I end up running them, depending on the amount of cars you have, of course, if you want to do exchanges and things, but that's a little bit more advanced. What else? I think that's about it, so enjoy the rest of this short video. Thank you. There's a few things I'd like to point out about my layout here. This is what I refer to as a televeer. It has 3 turnouts up here. The top one there goes around the outside perimeter. Same with this side, goes around up and out. Now on the inside track here, that's basically the lower loop. It comes around here and you hit that turnout and you can go down this section here, which is 6 feet long, from one turnout to this turnout, and then it continues on underneath the main line, underneath the cement plant. Comes back out the tunnel there, and this section here is 9 feet long, this siding. It's about 3 feet up to this turnout here, but all the way around here is 9 feet long. I just measured it, so I was thinking it was 9.5. But then it goes back underneath the tunnel there, rises up ever so slightly underneath that yellow bush there, and that's a lift-off section, and it can continue on around. You can flip the switches so you can run a train on the top and one on the bottom if you want to sit there and flip the switches back and forth. Alternatively, for this lower loop, you can flip this turnout here, which will take you up this, I think that was 7 feet. No, this, yeah, 7 feet I think is what this one was. But anyway, you could take this track here and it continues on up around and then back underneath the cement plant and out the loop again. Now on the upper loop area, it can get down the same way to the lower loop via that turnout there, coming down this main line area, or it can come on this one, which goes up. This is a 10-foot long, and it goes up around, and just on the other side of that yellow bush is another turnout, and that's where it continues on around the room. And here's the picking up the main line again. That upper section here going into the cement plant is about 24 inches long. This section here is the main line. You guys have all seen this, so I'm just kind of doing it quick, but not too much to make you nauseous. And this siding here is 7 feet long. Goes down and loops around and back down to a turnout here. Now, kind of the reason why I bring some of this up is so I can use these. I made this mainline sections kind of like sidings, so that if a train does need to wait for another train, it can use these areas also, these sidings slash mainline, to wait while the other one goes around in another route. This layout does not have any reverse loops. It's all just one continuous direction. So that's just how just to simplify it. I figure if I want to change directions, I just do a runaround. I know there's a big dragon's head on my screen back here. I do have a new TV, about the same size, but that one's heavy. So it's going to take a couple guys to get it off there, but I've had that TV for a while. One day I'll get it up there. Anyway, I'm going to geographically locate my lower yard as Galesburg. We have a lot of rail action here in Galesburg. You can't get out of downtown without going over or under a set of railroad tracks. It's just Galesburg is encompassed with railroad tracks. We also have a huge BNSF yard here, a hump yard, diesel service facility, fueling, sanding, of course, and also south of that, there's Koppers has a tie facility out there. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of combination things with some old CB&Q, a couple locomotives like that, some old BN locomotives, also some a couple of UP. They're BNSF and UP share a line south of town here, going to Chicago, and then I'm also going to run some BNSF, possibly a Remark Santa Fe. What else? Oh, a couple of UP engines. I'd like to get a couple of those, and TP and W, and probably a Rock Island as well, and to kind of multitask this area that I'm from here. My railroad is by no means prototypical. If I want to make this even remotely, the cement plant, which does not resemble the one, but there is one south of Pewanee down in Hannibal, Missouri, Mark Twain area. The other than that, it's just to kind of simplify when I run directional trains. As I get a new locomotive, I'll open up a new route, and then that'll pass on some of the items that go up into the cement plant. Say gypsum, for instance, will start coming out of Rock Island, and that'll be its thing, so that when things get organized down in the Galesburg yard here for which direction they're going to go, it'll just add more excitement and more opportunities as well. I've got nice long sidings and everything, and spurs, and so it should be pretty fun to operate. Of course, that's the end result of a model railroad, is the operations. So my next video is going to start covering some scenery work. I got some, I'm starting to lay it out right now. So I'm going to do some of that. I've got a 25-pound bag of drywall plaster, and I got a bunch of plaster as well. And so we'll start doing some more scenery work that needs to be done. So start moving on. I've played around enough with trains now for the last 6 weeks anyway, trying to get my operations down and how I want to do things. I've also been looking at locomotives, and I think I'm going to go with some of the older styles. It's just going to be kind of a mishmash, like I said earlier, of all the different railroads from around this area, but mainly BNSF. It's going to cover that stuff. So, well, thanks for watching, you guys.